You've ruined my Glastonbury experience.
This podcast has gone straight to his head.
Go on, Crouchy lad.
Hello and welcome to the Therapy Crouch.
Hello.
God.
How are we?
How are you? More like it.
Hell.
Ross, the absolute liability.
Producer Ross, we've realised, is a caner.
Producer Ross is barred from next year's Glastonbury because
We ended up on a bus at one stage, didn't we? It was going to. I thought Glastonbury was like contained in one kind of. How you get on a bus, I don't know.
Glastonbury, we've popped our Glasto cherry.
Mm-hmm. As you know, I love the voices are probably tell a story. Only so much Rocket Man you can sing, I think.
Rocket Man. Oh my God. So we've obviously been at Glastonbury, guys. It's the first time we've ever been. And, you know, there's nothing on earth like it.
You know when everyone says it to you, don't they? And you're like, well, God, like banging on about it. Like, Christ almighty, it is big. Massive.
See, it's mammoth. Like think big and then times it by 100.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, to be honest, I had reservations on my first day because, you know, we literally walked 27 miles a day. No,
Yeah, we did.
it's
About 12.
Yeah.
no, it's more than that.
What's it?
We walked 12
Long way.
miles from midnight.
It's half a marathon.
Yeah, so obviously one of the lads had it on his phone and he said 55,000 steps in a day. It's a lot of steps.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's worth it, isn't it? Like, the only thing is obviously because we were staying off site, which we were lucky with that really.
We arrived at Glastonbury. We stayed off site. You know, I've been nearly 38 years without going in a tent. So I thought now's not the time.
Are you just never going to go in a tent in your life?
No, I don't fancy it. I don't understand why you'd want to sleep somewhere worse in your own bed. That's my philosophy.
Well,
There's no fun in that for me at all.
I agree. It didn't look. A lot of people look like they were having a good time. Sense.
loads of people have good times in tents, don't they?
Yeah.
I agree. I have to agree with you. I don't think I'm a tent man.
You know, if we were in like Colorado on some like wildlife expedition and we were, you know, at one with nature.
Yeah,
but I don't want
park or something.
I don't want to camp with 7 million people in tiny tents and, you know, freezing at night, roasting in the morning. You know, how on earth did people find their tents?
Honestly, no.
There was acres of tents.
Yeah.
Flags.
And there was only one distinctive tent that I saw that stood out from the rest, and that was that leopard print one.
Yeah,
I thought they've got the right idea.
Yeah, I suppose you find that one, wouldn't you? But you know, I just think the whole thing's intense.
Hey.
It's too intense. It is intense. No, so we arrived Friday. The rest of the gang had been there the night since Thursday, so they were one day ahead of us and already half dead.
But then we came in hot as well. We came in, I went, right, because it's my debut. I think I probably came out the traps a bit too early.
So I spent the whole first day of class, you know, got home to the house afterwards, speaking to the kids, and like, oh, Mum, how was it? Who did you see? And no one. I didn't hear one song the whole day of Glastonbury because Pete was having too much of a good time, drinking beers, and got himself in a bit of a state. So that was handy.
But it's like the first day of holiday. It's like the rules. I don't know. It's Brits abroad. Brits on tour, innit? That's what we do. We just go in hard day one, ruin it, and then just
But you didn't just ruin it. Like, you had the best time, but you ruined it for everyone else. Like, literally.
ruined it. She's going to me. The next day she went, first thing when you wake up, it's like, Pete, you've ruined my Glastonbury experience.
You did.
You've ruined my experience.
Because you're so tall. You're too tall. I can't
So
carry
I can't have a good time if I'm too tall.
No, you can. I can't carry you or lift you up because you're too heavy.
Do you know what I was like? You know the wavy things you get at the car parks. There's actually one of those there in the.
Yeah, there was.
I
Ross, I don't know what you're laughing at. I'm surprised you
Yeah,
can
you
remember.
I've got no judgment here.
people in glass houses. Hey, listen, you were okay yourself on Elton John,
Yeah, you did all
running
right,
around like a blue arse fly.
Elton John, what an experience that was.
Oh, change the subject well there.
No.
That
No,
was,
let's start from the beginning. Let's paint the scene. So we're in our house, lovely, beautiful sanctuary, farmhouse, chickens, lambs, a little piece of heaven in Somerset. And gets to Glastonbury. And probably my first complaint, I'm going to put it out there, is the walk from the car to get in. It's literally an hour and a half walk.
bearing in mind, one of the best quotes I've ever heard, I think it was you said, Paul McCartney's not doing this. So why am I?
I did. You just added that. You've just added that on.
You said Paul McCartney and Kate Moss come here every year. I bet you they're not doing this walk.
I didn't say Kate Moss. I just said Paul McCartney. Don't be putting elastic on it.
You did say Kate Moss once as well, though.
No, I said I can't imagine Paul McCartney doing an hour and a half walk to get into Glastonbury.
One of our group said, "Are you comparing yourself to Paul McCartney?"
No, I'm far
the
better.
greatest songwriters of our generation.
No,
I feel like the podcast has gone to our head. If I'm honest, I feel like the success of this podcast.
You were getting a few shout outs at the Fezzy, like, to be fair. I didn't notice that.
yeah, is that a joke? What you've just said?
No, be deadly
You
serious.
think the podcast's gone to my head?
100%.
You are a complete
100%.
arsehole.
Are you straight around now? As if you're like a radio icon.
Shut up.
Abbey Moyles.
I am not that kind of person at all, so don't be painting that picture of me. No, I
Viewers will
wasn't.
make their own minds up.
I wasn't comparing myself to Paul McCartney. What I was saying is there must be another way. And can we find what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because it was a long way.
The blisters on my feet. Blisters are phenomenal.
I've cut all my feet to shreds.
You've cut your leg as well.
I've got a weird rash as well, like on my calf. What is that?
Is that jock itch?
Novak Djokovic.
Shut up. Yeah, but we were. I wasn't comparing myself to Paul McCartney, by the way. I was just thinking
She was.
there must be another way we can get in without this mammoth walk. Anyway, the weather was incredible.
Oh, weather was unbelievable.
But you just cannot believe the sheer size of this place. It's incredible. It goes on and on and on. I actually think we saw like a third of Glastonbury.
Mm.
What do you think?
Yeah, you know what's good as well? Like just after hours, you just stumble upon like mad tents and places to go, like kind of dancey tents. After my first night was Arctic Monkeys, wasn't it? And then we went to was it Glitterbox or something?
Yeah. First night was Arctic Monkeys. That was great. Amazing to see them again.
Yeah, and then obviously Glitterbox, which was like the old school dance kind of.
That was
But
enough.
It was good.
It's just a funny thing. Like, no matter what time of day, there's just people in vast crowds walking in every direction. It's like being in like RoboCop or something of that like kind of, is it RoboCop? That movie? Where they're like,
That is amazing.
it's like in the future where everyone's like dressed up in mad stuff.
Yeah,
and like,
I know what you mean.
where's everyone going?
Oh,
Mad
no, you're
Maxy
Mad Max.
kind of.
Mad Max, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, yeah. It's just
Like someone looking, like if an alien was looking down on us, they'd be like, what the hell are you all doing?
what are they up to? Just walking everywhere.
But we were like, we're going the wrong way. At every point, we were walking against the grain, weren't we?
Yeah.
Thousands of people come towards us, and we were going the other way.
Well, I was thinking because obviously we didn't have a clue what we were doing, so
No,
I
thank
think
you.
we must have been going the wrong way because everyone's going the other way every time.
Who was your best act?
Elton John was just, that's the best thing I've ever seen.
That's the best
I'm
thing
going
I've
to
ever
put
seen.
that out there. I think it's the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like I think because it was maybe, potentially his last gig in England, in
Why was
the
it?
UK.
Why is it?
Well, he said
Yeah,
that, didn't
it's the end of his farewell tour.
he? Yeah.
He's been doing the farewell tour for about 10 years.
5 years he's been doing it, yeah.
It's a 5-year farewell, but he, why not? What I mean, there's no one out there who's got like at belter after belter, like a catalogue like he's got, and to perform them like to that level.
No, he's just world class. He's a different level. He's a megastar. The talent, is. I actually don't think you see that now as much.
I don't think. I mean, there's anyone you can compare him to now.
No, that whole like generation of, Prince, George, Elton. They don't make them like they used to.
They don't,
They don't.
That's that's what old people say though. Do you know that?
Is it?
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I remember my gran saying that. Don't make them like
Bing Crosby. Don't make them like
Sinatra. Don't make them like they used to.
No, but think about it. Who have we got him to compare it to? Fucking RD.
I'm thinking like
he even brings a bloody cover out. It's not even his own
you
song.
got Michael Jackson, kind of Madonna, iconic, right?
Yeah.
Prince,
yeah,
Rolling Stones,
yeah, all of them.
Kind of like Freddie Mercury. Like that's the level. And to see it kind of at Glastonbury for us for the first time in that incredible place.
Yeah,
it just all the stars kind of aligned. I felt that there was a beautiful sunset, wasn't there? Do you remember all those flares over on the top of the hill? It was like a moment, wasn't it?
It was definitely a moment. That was like a once in a lifetime experience.
Oh God! Do you know what I was worried about? I was worried about kind of being because there's no real kind of place to kind of hide, and I can't hide anywhere. I was thinking that it's going to be a bit more kind of hassle, but for me a bit. But
who cares about you, Pete? Kate Moss and Paul McCartney were walking around.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like
his podcast has gone straight to his head.
No, what I'm saying is I'm 8 foot, like I'm easily like recognisable.
No, but I think that's the whole like spirit of Glastonbury. Like everyone, that's one thing I would say compared to some of the festivals I've been to. Obviously, we go to the Isle of Wight every year, and that is different level festival. It's absolutely unbelievable. But Glastonbury, there's like a kind of magic in the air where everyone's there to have a good time, and it's
so good.
It's kind of, it feels safe, doesn't it?
Mm. Yeah, there's no Barneys or anything.
No, there's no like fighting or no like lager louts. Apart from you, Ross.
Not like Crouch Fest, is it?
Person there was a Scouser.
Huh?
Probably because everyone there was a Scouser.
I've never been, apart from being in Liverpool, I've never been surrounded by as many Scousers in my life.
I love it.
Either.
I love it.
You spot them a mile away as well, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great though. They all had a good time.
Everyone I spoke to was from Liverpool. Literally. And you could just hear them walking past, like,
it was funny.
The Scouse accent.
I'd just be strolling around and I'd just hear, go on, Crouchy lad.
It's right, Crouchy lad.
Right there, lad.
They're friendly though.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was just a great vibe. You know what I like when we came into Elton John, right, we were a bit late because we were late for everything really, the whole weekend.
Yeah, we didn't plan it. No one tells you this. No one tells you that each stage is 9 hours.
Like 9-hour walk.
Apart.
And then
so we really got under your skin this weekend, didn't it?
Yeah, because
So weekly wine this week is walking in general.
Well, we can just go straight into our weekly wine. My weekly wine is that to myself. I didn't listen to everyone's advice to buy myself a pair of Solomons. And
not the Solomons.
The Solomons.
The Sollies, lad.
Everyone who wore Solomons had such a better time than me. My feet.
Yeah, but you wore like a high heel welly thing. What was that about?
Because you're 8 foot.
The only hunters I've ever seen with a heel on.
No one had a heel on. No one.
It's a heeled welly. And the reason I wore a heeled welly is because I didn't get my jeans hemmed. So they were too long without them.
Okay.
No, I wore biker.
Well, that's gone well over my head now.
I wore biker boots.
Yeah. But did they... Well, to be fair, I had like kind of walking boots.
Yeah, but you didn't have Solomons?
My feet are chafed to death.
I've had a lot of messages about the cream suede walking boots. They didn't make an appearance, did they?
No, they didn't. like when I got there, everyone went, "Oh, they're too nice to like ruin." Then I was like, maybe I'm not balling after all. Yeah, they were too nice to kind of put on.
Yeah, I think because you
all
didn't.
my shoes got wrecked. All of them.
You didn't wear them the first day, so you saw the state that your shoes were in. So you were
Oh
like,
my God. I had 2 pairs and they all got completely wrecked.
Mm.
Need
That's what I'm going to do next year. Get myself a pair of Solomons or a pair of Graysons. Or
Yeah, you can get a new husband as well then.
Why?
Pair you and a pair of Solomons. Oh, joking.
You know, because my brother was the first one to introduce us to these Solomons. We all absolutely came in.
Hammered him for it.
Solomons, these like professional trainers. Did you say professional?
Yeah, professional walking.
Professional fanny repellers.
Fanny repellents.
But they're really good.
Yeah.
It's what all the cool cats wear.
Oh, is it though?
It is.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
It is.
Do you know what's something I did notice on this trip? The bum bag came out.
Yeah.
Can you believe
4 years, I think, to the day that I purchased it. And I said, do you remember my words? I said, you wait. I said, these will be in fashion. I said, I'm so far ahead of the curve. And you said, don't be so ridiculous. Boom, straight on.
It's not that it was in fashion. I
loved
wanted to like put my like bits and bobs like.
Which is why I bought it.
So another thing about Glastonbury, you have to keep your paper ticket. So if you're going in and out of sight, that doesn't make sense.
On and off site.
If you're going on and off site to get back in the next day, you need to not only show your wristbands but your paper ticket. On the walk up to the gate, Ross loses his.
He's a liability, this boy, isn't he?
Total liability.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We only brought you because we had to do our podcast. Like, honestly, if we weren't doing the podcast here, you wouldn't be invited. Just FYI.
Thanks, Abbey.
Just bear in mind. Something to bear in mind.
Food for thought.
Oh, Ross lost his bag, his passport, his phone, all his money, and his ticket.
So what are you trying to say here? Like the bum
So the
bag
reason
is...
I wore the bum bag is because I could put it around my waist. All my stuff was there. It was safe. I was hands free.
Exactly for all the reasons I bought it for. Safe, hands-free, stylish, adaptable, cool.
Adaptable.
Just like perfect, isn't it?
Mm.
No one looks as good as you in the bum bag department.
So you're going back to so that's my weekly wine to myself, my shoes. That's one thing I'll definitely
Bear in mind.
bear in mind next time.
So bearing in mind, we've been late for absolutely every gig we went to in the whole of Glastonbury, every time. We should hold in, obviously, late to Elton John, because we've been at Mantra of the Cosmos.
Yeah, our friend Andy's in a band.
Andy Bell's band.
And they were fantastic. I actually didn't want to leave that, but there's so many things that overlap and you want to see, so you have to see a bit of this band, a bit of that band.
But we found a plot, because you got cut for it. Was what is it, 350,000 people? I don't know, I probably might have made that number up. But it felt like I've never seen anything like it. Everywhere, every bar was empty.
Bars were empty.
Yeah, every bar was empty because everyone was
The
piling
whole of
into
the
Elton
festival
John.
went there. Didn't
Yeah, literally, because there's so many different tents and stages, but it felt like everyone was at Elton John because it was such a moment. So we couldn't get a spot, right? And I was thinking, we're all like crushed in, aren't we? There was nowhere to go. And then we found a place by the toilets. And obviously no one wanted to stand next to the toilets. I thought, actually, bearing in mind the smell wasn't great, but the view was perfect for us because we're reasonably tall.
Well, I didn't see any toilets. I only saw like a fence and I didn't notice any smell. I just noticed that we were like right in the centre, had loads of space and thought it was like the best
That's
position.
what I mean, because we had a dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of a dance floor going on.
It was just incredible. That was just, I think, definitely the best performance I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Who was your favourite, Ross?
I like the Foo Fighters.
Oh,
They
yeah,
were so good. Becky Hill was really good as well, wasn't she?
Mm.
She was funny.
Oh, day one, we only saw the Arctic Monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to see DJ Tony in Glitterbox, who was playing some absolute bangers.
Some bangers in there.
You remember that?
Yeah. It was a long day.
Absolute liability.
What's a liability?
Day two, I was exhausted from day one. being a babysitter.
You stop, please.
No.
What am I going to do? Like, go to Glastonbury and be sober as a judge?
No. But day 3 for me was the one.
Yeah.
I think we kind of got our bearings. We knew where we were going. We had our little shortcuts, our little routes, our little meetup points. Everyone was having the best time. I think that was it. We saw the most acts that day. So we went from Becky Hill. The sun was shining. It was roasting. Everyone was dancing, having a great time. Then from there, we went to see Little Nas X. It was also unreal.
Mm.
Then we went to see Candy Stanton because she's got some absolute bangers. Then we went to see Andy's band, Banter of the Cosmos. And then the grand finale, Elton. It's just...
It's hard to get back to kind of to normality, isn't it, after?
Yeah.
So obviously this house is like half an hour away. So even the journey going back to the house was fun. We had all the tunes on, all dancing in the car, didn't we? It was just amazing. And I think it's vital to have a good group with you at Glasto. You want the right people with you.
You're welcome.
It's important, like everywhere you go, isn't it, really?
It's so important. You want everyone who's like, wants the same vibe, is up for a laugh, enjoying themselves.
Easy to lose people, isn't it? There.
So easy. How many times did you get lost, Ross?
I lost count.
But funny things that we bumped into people we knew out of all of those thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
Remember when we lost our John and then we were walking to go home and there was just a sea of people and then I just saw our John. I was like, my God.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then all the tents are like different themed, aren't they? Like the rabbit hole was cool, wasn't it? Wacky and wonderful, like crazy. It's almost like going into like Alice in Wonderland. Like lights, different themes.
Some massive stages as well.
Oh, was it?
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Down the rabbit hole.
The rabbit hole. That makes sense now, yeah. That's why it was Alice in Wonderland.
Sorry, but nothing makes sense when you've been drinking for 12 hours.
It was like 1 a.m. when you go there.
Yeah.
The rabbit hole, makes perfect sense now. You've explained it is Alice in Wonderland theme.
Yeah, I was like, God, why is everyone dressed up like they're in Alice in Wonderland? It's Alice in Wonderland themed.
Okay, yeah. I just thinking they were the mad ones. Actually, it was us.
So at the end of the night, when you've seen all the bands, because the bands finish quite early, don't they?
Yeah, fairly early, book 12.
Finish about
11.
So we were on search for the dance tent.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good.
Where did we go?
To Defected. It was a lot of fun.
Didn't you know the DJ?
I did, yeah, Monkey, because I did a show with Dulwich Hamlet.
Okay.
And I was like director there for a bit, and she was in the female team there. And she's like a top DJ for Defected, yeah.
That was amazing.
She was great, wasn't she?
Yeah, fab. After Elton had finished, it was such a moment. Everyone was literally on cloud nine, like, oh my God, what did we just witness? So we needed to dance it off, didn't we? Really?
Yeah.
So
go and enjoy some more.
Guns N' Roses.
Oh my God, I loved that.
Was phenomenal. Like, how cool is Slash?
Just, watching someone like that musically talented, playing the guitar, I just found it amazing, mesmerising watching him.
Who was on before Guns N' Roses?
Amazing.
Lizzo, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, we saw Lizzo. Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses are unbelievable.
Yeah, it was good. Dave Grohl got up Paradise City as well. That was good. Yeah, because we saw Foo Fighters, and I've never seen them live, so that was big. And then obviously Dave Grohl come out with Axl Rose at the end there with Paradise City Guns N' Roses set. That was incredible.
That was incredible.
Incredible.
Where were you while we were watching Guns N' Roses? Lana Del Rey. How was that?
Disappointing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's doing it there.
She's getting her hair done on stage. What's going on?
That is mad.
That'll be you soon on the pod.
I need to do my hair. Look at the absolute state of me. I need to apologise for this, by the way. No, it's another world. No matter how much we describe it, and I actually don't think we're doing a very good job of it
Do you know what? I encapsulated it all really in camera form by my photos. I got some absolute belters. The first one was this one. I took two.
So,
I got one video and one photo the whole day.
So his video is just half a second of the ground, and his photo is pitch black and blurry.
Literally this one. It goes on for like, listen to how long it goes on for. Wow. One video and one photo. Like nothing documented at all.
Shows you're having a good time, though.
Exactly. That's what I think sometimes. You know, everyone's got their phones out, and sometimes, I don't know, I feel like you can lose the moment.
But that's what I do with my whole life. I'm so bad on Instagram and social media about posting things. And I never take pictures when I'm somewhere good.
It's just the right picture, isn't it? Like there's so many moments there, but I was too busy looking at them and enjoying them than taking a picture of them.
Do you remember on day 2 when we were like, we need to go now? It was like midnight. Our whole group wanted to carry on. And me, Pete and Alfie were just shattered. So we were like, we need to go. It took us 3 hours to get to our gate.
It's just, you know what? It's like,
I can't even explain. 3 hours it
you
took
can't
us
even like.
to get to our driver to pick us up.
It's not a bad dream.
And everyone you asked who was on a gate, we were like, excuse me, do you know where the bronze gate is, please? And you go, yeah, just down there. So we went down to this thing and ended up in this like campsite cul-de-sac with all people like round a fire, like playing all like folk music. I was like, what the hell? So that was a dead end. So we come back out and I said to the same guy, do you know what? I said, sorry, do you know where the bronze gate's it's not down there. And he went, you know, you're the second person to ask me tonight. And I was like, it was me.
What about that one? Right, this one. So now we're getting a bit aggy now, right? So we're walking around going, I don't know where to go. Like, oh, this is so annoying. And then we walk in and then we go, it's down there, it's down there. We had to cut for a campsite. So it's the Greenpeace campsite.
Oh, yeah.
So I say to him, right, so can we get through here? And he goes, oh, you can't go through here. And I said, oh, mate, please, we're just going down that bottom there. And he's going, no, you can't come through here. And I said, it was a fucking killer whale you'd let me in.
If it was breathing at me back.
If I was breathing at my back, you'd let me in, wouldn't you?
You know, it's I feel like we sound like we're complaining here, but it's the first time we've been to this festival. We didn't know our whereabouts. You know, we didn't know our bearings. We knew nothing about all the great places to go, the bars. You know, we've heard from people, but you don't know how to get there. And no one else does.
No one knows.
And everyone you ask tells you a different thing.
Leading the blind, man.
It's literally the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, it is.
Thank God for Jordan.
Yeah,
A friend of ours who obviously we had with us in our group. Jordan's been like 10 years on a row. So he knew everything. So he was just literally our tour guide walking through the festival with his hand up. Because it's so hard to head a group of like 12 people.
It's handy having me though, to be fair. You know, everyone's got the flags, haven't they? Like, you got me.
Yeah, we just have your head.
It's handy, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, should we get into the agony abs?
Hi, Abbey and Peter. I have an agony ab for you, which I'm in dire need of some help with. It relates to my boyfriend's singing abilities, and more specifically, the complete lack of. Before you judge me, please let me emphasize that I can in no way, shape or form hold any type of note when it comes to belting out a tune. And this is something I have been aware of pretty much my entire life. I have no issue with the fact that when my boyfriend sings, it resembles something out of 2007 round 1 of X Factor. If anything, I quite like the fact he is much of a shitter singer than me, as it gives me a well-needed confidence boost. What I am struggling to deal with is he is absolutely delusional about his ability to hit the high notes, or with any fucking note for that matter. I genuinely believe that when he sings, he thinks he is Warrington's answer to Harry Styles, when in reality, he is channeling a lot more Harry Hill. If his singing was confined to the shower or the drive to work, I would honestly have no issue with it. But what I do have an issue with is his absolute insistence on any night out, wherever we go, We end up at a karaoke bar where
He loves it.
bar where he makes me and often my friend enjoy a catalogue of his car crash bangers which invariably reaches its crescendo when he inflicts his version of Oasis' She's Electric on the group.
Tune.
When we first met, I thought it was sweet and almost endearing, but after 3 years, I've had enough. Every time I tell him he needs to pack it in, he just laughs it off and tries to pass it off as me being jealous of his God-given raw talent and ability. Yes, you read that correctly. I'm at the point where I'm even considering entering from Britain's Got Talent next year in hope that the sound of thousands of people chanting off, off, off will maybe put him off and back in his box. But I'm also a bit concerned about how his PTSD would affect our relationship after. Any advice? Greatly appreciated.
Savage.
I think it's harsh.
He's only enjoying himself, isn't he?
Not hating anyone.
But he probably thinks.
So-
I think her issue is that he thinks he's so cool and he thinks that he's an amazing singer when he's not.
You think it's the ick about vibe again, isn't
It's
it?
the
It's probably like he's going singing like she's electric, like not as good as that, obviously.
It's well, it just brings back memories of you singing Candy Shop the other night. You know, that was revolting.
Revolting. Say words like revolting.
I can.
Why? What was revolting about it?
We've got a repeat performance of it at Glasto as well.
Yeah, he did it at Glasto.
Yeah.
I put it on for you, didn't I? Just to relive it.
But you like to entertain.
I like to sing. I'm not, but I know my limitations. I'm not a good singer. Comfortable with that.
You're not a bad singer.
I am.
Sometimes you pretend that you're worse than you are and put a voice on, which I hate.
What?
You put a worse voice on than your actual voice for attention.
What?
You do. I've seen it a few times.
That is, your opinion of me is so low. It's unreal. I put on a worse voice.
Yeah, you do. You're actually an okay singer.
That's not
You can
true.
hold a tune.
Do you think?
Yeah,
I had no clue that you thought that I could. That's a lot. You don't mean that.
I do.
I'm the worst singer of all time.
You know,
I am the worst singer of all time.
I don't. You actually know.
All right.
When your voice is back next week, you'll have to put it to the test.
Yeah. I've had that worst one that I put on.
Yeah.
What a load of dribble that is.
You do.
God.
Sometimes you'll be like, yeah. It's like not really a singing voice.
Blow my mind.
That's like the noise of the weekend. That I just turn around, people be like that.
Of course.
What is that? Like, why did that even start, that noise? Like, who went, oh, I'm a bit tired now. Why?
Horses.
Horses. If I don't think they do
Horses do it.
they're not tired when they do that, though, are they? They're like making a little.
I don't do that.
I do.
Yeah, you always do. You do that and then just like rub. You go like this. You go and they go.
You know, some of your like descriptions of what I do. Do you know how derogatory they are?
Oh,
Derogatory.
She's
that's
going.
not fair.
Like I've got no control over my hands or something.
So you saying I've never said that to you before? Like you
I rub my
your face.
I go like that. I go, I do that or not.
See?
What I do?
You kind
You just did it.
What I do that? That's what I do. That's what
At
I'm
the
saying.
end bit, you always do it slow and it takes ages to come down. You don't
Well, I've
notice.
got loads of annoying habits, haven't I?
No, it's not
Realise how
annoying.
much I annoy
It's
you.
not annoying. It's not annoying. It's just what are my habits?
Don't start this, P.
But no, you don't particularly annoy me. Your habits. You got no particular habits that annoy me. It's
I
cool.
do them. Don't I?
You do that, but it doesn't annoy me.
It annoys me. Like every picture I'm in the background like that.
If that doesn't know there's a photo happening, she just go.
I don't know how
Why
to
do
do
you
it.
do that?
I don't know.
I think something to do with
teeth.
the lip gloss. I think you're putting the lip gloss like together. I think that's true. I think that's true.
Putting the lip gloss together.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Rubbing your lips.
Yeah. That's
No,
exactly what you're doing, is that? All right.
I think she should just leave him alone.
Yeah.
She sounds like she's bullying her
Leave him
boyfriend.
alone. Leave him alone.
It's the small things that make you happy.
Yeah, but he's obviously going too far with it. She's had enough. It sounds like she's at the end of her tether.
Maybe she is jealous of her singing ability.
What are we doing with this lady? What's her name? What's her name, does it? Maybe lay off him a little bit.
Leave him alone.
Yeah, but if it's really annoying, just say, look, like you would. You're really annoying me.
She should film him and play it back to him like the next day.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
That's a
No,
good-
because he'd probably go, oh, is that Elton? No, Jew, darling. Oh my God, I'm such a good singer.
All right, I got another one here. Hi, Abbey and Pete. I think you're both hilarious. Listen every week. Thanks for making my Tuesdays much funnier. So I have a festival story. A group of us went to the Tramlines Festival in Sheffield. My cousin got really drunk and forgot she had her phone in her back pocket when she went to the toilet.
Oh,
The phone dropped without her realising into the portaloo, and she flushed it, causing it to go down the toilet. She was in no fit state to get the phone herself, so her mum had to get her hand in the urine and poo to get her phone out. She was pissed off the next day because her sound didn't work on the phone, and her mum didn't speak to her all weekend. No way.
You're buying a new phone, aren't you? Surely.
so, I've heard about the toilets at Glastonbury. We had that listener write in about someone getting, squirted with
Oh, the poo gun thing.
the poo gun,
Sucker.
Yeah.
poo sucker.
They have the poo sucker, but they put it on,
Yeah.
like, to
Glow.
clear it.
I must admit that I actually didn't see a bad toilet there.
It was one on the way in.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was a row of a few.
I think they did a pretty good job of the toilet situation in Glastonbury.
It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't like I was preparing for hell, and it wasn't. It was fine.
Not too bad. Still
It's
wouldn't
fine.
want your phone to be down there, though, would you? Jesus
No.
Christ.
But Ellie's sleeve went down the loo
Did it?
on this trip.
God.
She had a shirt tied round her waist and went for a wee,
Oh, yeah.
and her whole shirt went down the loo. And she was like,
That's not
had to
great.
wash it in the sink.
That is not good. Right, I got one here. Glasto 2019 was a very hot year, a bit like this one will be. My mate was sleeping in the tent next to mine. I was awoken by Dan shouting, Jack, there's some bloke in my tent asleep next to me. I didn't believe him. So I got out and went to look, and there he was. We woke him up and said, mate, you're in the wrong tent. He woke up, looked round and said, shit, here I am. And no word of a lie, didn't bother getting out and just went back to sleep for a couple of hours. That's amazing. He's looked round and gone, oh my God, yeah. Oh, see you in the morning.
See, that would freak me out. Like, why aren't people scared to be sleeping in a field with
Wow.
a million strangers?
Yeah. Bad.
It's scary, that. It's bad enough going into trying to take our Ross in a cup of tea every morning. He was completely naked with a big fat arse hanging out. Traumatised. That was actually my worst experience of
Was it your worst part of Glastonbury?
my worst experience of Glastonbury was
What?
seeing our Ross naked every morning.
Why was he never under the covers?
Why were you
Roasting. The share of a Jordan boiling in there.
the two of them? Ross
Both
and Jordan,
naked with bums up in the air.
completely naked, lying on their stomachs on top of the quilt. I was like, what on earth? So that was the first date, and I thought, oh my God. And they were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, we did that again. It's me, like being mum, taking a cup of tea and little thing. The next morning, Jordan was in the same position, but eating Pringles, naked.
So he was face down, so like as if
Face
like
down,
Kate
ass up.
Winslet in Titanic or something like that. Like he's lying
Yeah,
across
he
the
was like-
chaise lounge with some Pringles. Like,
Paint me like one of your French girls up.
Literally.
you should have painted him.
It's just so wrong. I don't want to see that.
No one needs to see
Especially with a hangover and
Yeah.
blisters.
that. Yeah.
It's not what you want to see. It sent me over the edge.
But it's so funny that you both days they're in the same position. Like, mind you, they could have been worse. They could have been face up. How would have put you?
Scarred you for life. I'd put you off your cornflakes.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I'm like used to going into the kids' rooms of morning or whatever, but everyone was like, it was really annoying me that our whole group were like lying in. Like staying in bed till like 12. One day we didn't even get out the door till 3 o'clock. We were up at 8.
I know.
We were up regularly at 8 a.m.
God.
But we're old. That's what old people do, isn't it? They go to bed earlier and wake up earlier.
It was so funny. Like the guy who owned the house was like watering the flowers. And then one morning, I was just in the kitchen making a cup of tea. And he went, "Oh, have you just got up?" And I was like, "No, I've been up for ages." He said, "Oh," because I said, because the others been up for a while. Saw them at 8 this morning. I was like, "No, they just came in."
Mike thought far too much of us.
Oh, okay.
He went, "Oh, right." Like these kids, they're wild.
Oh, well. Right, dear Agony app, I went for a shower at Glastonbury. When I looked round, my mates had stolen my cloths and towel, and I was stranded in the shower for 20 minutes before I had to run naked a mile through the camp while everyone cheered me. Next year, I'll have to get my payback. Any ideas?
Oh, I saw a few people getting showers.
Yeah.
As we were walking in through like the campsites, a few people just like getting showers just with the towel around them.
Mm-hmm.
Like topless or like wet hair and all that. I'd be so like self-conscious to do that. Would you? How do you feel about getting a wild shower in front of thousands?
No, I don't. I mean, they had briefs on, didn't they? I mean, if you're strolling down like naked, then maybe, yeah. But I think you'd have to, if you had like a pair of briefs on, you'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Briefs?
Or like swimming trunks or boxers.
Female briefs?
No, I don't walking around a thong.
When have you ever, number one, wore a thong?
Why am I wearing a thong? I'm not wearing a thong. So briefs, when I said briefs, I'm talking about boxer shorts.
Why don't you say undies? I've never
said undies.
in 17 years heard you say briefs. I'm just picturing you with a pair of girls' knickers on, little high leg, high leg Brazilian cut, walking through Glasto.
What are you talking about?
Briefs.
What's going on with you?
No one's ever said briefs.
Briefs. What you'd say.
Like wave fronts?
Boxers, wide fronts, briefs.
Briefs, wave fronts.
Bills, whatever you want to call them.
What do you normally call them though?
Boxer shorts, probably. Or briefs.
You've
Fucking hell. I wish you were brief.
That's obviously standard banter though to nick someone's towel.
Yeah. I mean, standard. Do you remember we went on holiday once and Jason, that was Lee. Remember we did, you know when you hold on to the donut, you're pigging on the boat and you hold it and his legs were coming off and off more and more and more. Then half his body was in and I was holding on with him. Then his shorts just went right off. And then obviously
his briefs came off.
His briefs came off. I was laughing so much. And then obviously they were just floating and all that. So I said then we all went round off the fella, got them back in and said it was going to pull him in and get them. And I was going, no. So we threw them back on the boat and then didn't let him get back on. So he was in the sea with no gear on.
He wouldn't get out the sea because he had no swimming trunks on. And he was like, "Give me my swimming trunks." Like in the sea. We were like, "No, you've got to climb out."
Come and get him. He was demoed.
Laddie banter.
Oh, the times we had, hey.
We were crazy in the day, back in our day.
Wild. Oh, God, yeah. What's the payback then?
It's got to get him back. Do it to him.
Similar scenario. Yeah, I mean.
Sabotage the face cream.
Oh, yeah.
With what?
Deep heat in the briefs.
Oh.
I've been done with that. I got done with that at Stoke. A couple of lads every morning used to put deep heat in my sloggies.
Really?
Sloggies?
Yeah. Every day. And I kept getting done with it every time. Got rinse your balls in the sink. So painful.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like aggressive. Deep heat. Like,
yeah.
I've never used deep heat.
Yeah. It's good. It's really good. Like if you've got a muscle injury
not
or...
your balls, though.
Not your balls.
Abbey and Peter, I saw you on Friday. You and your gang look cool. But I feel like you're missing out not getting dressed up for the Glastonbury experience. If you dressed up, who would you go as why? See, I wanted to do this. You know, it was discussed. I wanted us to all, dress as Elton throughout the years.
That would have been good. I'm so far away from Elton.
What?
Like, I wouldn't have looked like him, would I, at all?
Oh, I thought you said you were so far away from
No.
Elton, as in he wouldn't be able to
I
see
just don't
your tribute to him.
particularly look like Elton, do I, anyway? Why? My tribute. I want him to see my tribute.
I'm so far away from Elton, so it'd be wasted.
I'd be wasted because he wouldn't see me.
See, I love fancy dress. I really wanted to do it, but like trying to get our group to do anything, it just never happens, does it?
There's a lovely idea, though, that. That's a good idea. We'll do it next time. Because Elton's got so many great looks through the
Yeah, but
years.
it's not going to be Elton next year.
No.
You could have dressed up as Slash this year, and that would have been an incredible disguise.
Yeah, but can you imagine how tall that hat would be?
He's tall, Slash, though.
What I mean, yeah, but that hat.
Yeah, but you could have done it with a bowler hat.
Could
So
I?
it's like
Nah,
the same
you gotta have the
shape, like a
Slash
little
hat.
magician hat. Like
It's got to be the big long
shorter
one.
version.
Wonder how you, like, if you're Slash, like, how you just go, right, I'm going to go with this massive top hat.
Do you know what I love about Slash is the way he's just been like true to his own style for 50
all
years.
the way through, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he's aged because you never really see his face, can you?
No. He was had a little bit of grey stubble.
Did he?
Good at the hair on him, wasn't he?
Or has he? Or is that attached to the hat?
Oh, that's a good point. Oh my God. That's a point. Could be one of those kind of joke shop ones, couldn't it? Just come out, he could be among us. All right, well, let's wrap this Glastonbury vibe up, yeah? Shall we? Are we doing it again next year? That's the big question.
I think it was a once in a lifetime experience. I loved it, and every day I liked it even more.
Yeah,
I found like we were,
that's true.
finding our way, and
So much more to explore as well.
because we didn't even make it to any of the healing fields, and
what happens there?
you get healed.
Yeah,
Mm.
but like how?
I think it's like
Reiki.
Reiki and
Shamanic
meditation, and I would
Interesting.
really like to do that.
Sounds good.
What else did we miss? Shangri-La.
But you know what? Like, there's probably loads to do kind of during the day that even before the music's even happened to do, to go and see. And you know what I wanted to do as well? Like, right, kind of like late on at night, I wanted to go up to the top of the hill and like look down at it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would have been another
Long way.
16 hours on our journey.
Long way. We need to find. We need to find McCartney's route,
I
didn't
think
we?
I might come on my horse next time.
Golf buggy.
Imagine if Ab, right, was on a horse around Glastonbury.
I would love that.
You riding side saddle.
Incredible.
Yeah. I could just have a little cart on the back. Put you all in. Let's go. Vamos.
That would be amazing.
That
Amazing.
would be unreal. Just trotting around Glastonbury on a horse.
Imagine that.
There was quite a lot of horse shit everywhere.
Was there?
Was there?
Maybe police horses or something.
Did you feel like you were doing a little bit of like walk of shamey the next day?
No, I was totally comfortable. Like, not even like, didn't even bother me at all.
Everyone was like, "He had a great night yesterday, didn't he?"
There's quite a lot of people going over to me and going, woo, how
How's
you
that?
feeling? You know that one?
I
don't-
hate people who do that.
I didn't care one bit. I mean, Glastonbury, what am I going to do? God.
Mm.
I'm having fun.
It's so annoying, people who do that to people who, who are already probably feeling a little bit
Yeah.
sheepish.
No time for that.
Oh,
good.
God, Pete had a great time last night.
Oh, what about you last night?
Makes you feel terrible, that doesn't
How's the head?
What time did you get up this morning then?
That's the worst.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. Here he
Afternoon.
is. Here he is.
Oh, God. Oh, did you have a good night last night? Or can't you remember? All of that. So horrible.
What is that all about? Afternoon. Wow. All right. So
Would you stay on site next year?
I think yeah, it could be like, there's some, what I realised is there's some really, really nice places to stay that aren't.
And the half an hour journey back kind of killed the after party vibes, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? You're like asleep by the time you got home.
Does a bit. Now, what I would say is, Glastonbury, thanks for having us because we really, really enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah.
It's a special
Glastonbury
place.
lived up to its hype. 100%. 100%. Don't you think?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. Well, thanks for listening.
Tickets on sale now. Go get them. They probably are on sale now.
No Crouch Fest.